iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. And today I'm going to do something a little different. Something I haven't done in a while. I know I usually do my team previews. I'm going to get back to those next week. But right now, today I want to talk a little strategy. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about a recent draft I was just in on ScoutFantasy.com. I did an online championship yesterday, so I'm going to cover that tomorrow. I promised everybody in that league that I would, and that was a very, very, very tough draft. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. But this, I wanted to talk about a starter draft that, we call it draft and go. Okay, we call that draft and go. So let me explain what that means to you guys. So hopefully many of you guys understand that. Draft and Go is Scout Fantasy's version of best ball. Okay, it's a best ball format. So I want to spend a lot of this podcast talking about what that means and why I like it so much and why I think it's so helpful. So we have, if you go right now, okay, to play ffwc.com, just like I did 2 seconds ago, okay, and you see we have draft and goes. So draft and goes could be starter drafts, right? So there no lineup, no waivers, just draft. Okay, we have our starter drafts, our draft and go. We love these formats, especially I really like the ones that are $35 because they are amazing practice. Now, I don't want to do any waivers during the year on these. I don't want to do any lineups. What I want to do with them is literally spend $35 for a mock, well, it's not really mock, a draft, a real draft, where the winner can get a few $100, but I don't have to worry about it during the season, right? It's not one of my seasonal leagues that I have to do moves for. Those things are very time-consuming. So this is a quick way to get me some action, not that expensive, and I can get a great idea of where people are drafting players. I don't trust most mock draft sites. Yahoo stinks. No offense to Yahoo. I have a lot of friends who work there. Their mock draft sites stink. I've been on them before. And you have too. People sign up, they quit, they do a round, they got to go, they don't get the player they want, they walk out. That's boring. This is $35 and you are drafting 24 rounds, 28 rounds. It all depends on the league that you do. So what I want to talk about today is some of the strategies that happen in best ball formats, draft and go best ball formats, because you have to be more prepared in these leagues than in a simple redraft league. And here's why. Okay? First of all, there's no moves during the season. Your quarterbacks get hurt, they're done, you're done. Simple as that. You're done. You don't have a guy, you're toast. Because you get points, so what happens is the computer goes through your team and gives you the highest points. So if you have Kirk Cousins, Briar Hoyer, Jared Goff, whoever has the most points that week, that's the points you get. Simple. It's a simple format. You don't have to enter any lineup. Set it and forget it, as I like to say. But if you've got two guys on bye in the same week, you get no points. If you have a guy who's hurt that week, you get no points. So this really is a best ball format. It's a best ball format. So ideally, in these formats, I believe most teams should have 3 quarterbacks. Now look, I'm looking at a draft board that I did a couple of weeks ago. I think it was on July 26th. Team here took Tom Brady in round 4 and Ryan Tannehill in round 12. He's done. You know what? Bad drafting. Seriously, bad drafting. He probably thought, well, I had Tom Brady. I'm good. Well, you're not good. You know who you should have had? Should have had a third quarterback named Jimmy Garoppolo. If I have Tom Brady, I'm taking Jimmy Garoppolo. I would have had a third quarterback in this league. I would. And you know what? I took a third quarterback in this league. I had Andy Dalton, Sam Bradford. I took Paxton Lynch toward the end. Do I like Paxton Lynch? No, he's a bum. But I thought that maybe by week 8, he'd be the starter. Some team here did a great job. See, he took Jameis Winston. He was the guy next to me. I didn't like his draft at the time, but it's looking better and better to me. Jameis Winston, Matthew Stafford, Eli Manning. Rounds 10, 11, 12. Bam, bam, bam. No playing around there. No playing around there. Couldn't screw it up. Good for him. You have 24 rounds. You might as well take a third quarterback. Do you need 2 kickers? Yes, you need 2 kickers who don't kick on the same week. God forbid your kicker gets hurt, you're done. If your kicker's on bye, you're done. Get no points that week. Do you need 2 defenses? Yes, you do. Everybody should have 2 defenses. Now, some teams take 3 defenses. I don't really like that. I like 2. I'd rather have a third quarterback than a third defense. One team here took the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Titans. Really? Seriously, really? Another team here took the Cardinals, the Chargers, and the Bengals. You know what? But they only have Breeze and Bortles. Boy, Blake Bortles sucks. I'd rather have Drew Brees' backup than have the Bengals defense. How about that? Right? And the other team had Kirk Cousins and Brian Hoyer and Jared Goff. I mean, I guess he took three quarterbacks, but I'd rather have Colt McCoy than the Titans. Cover myself, right? You've got to have multiple tight ends. You can't have one. You can't have two. I think you need 3 to 4 tight ends in a league like this. I do. So one team here took Delaney Walker, Charles Clay, Gerald Everett. Like it. But the team that took Jack Doyle and Antonio Gates, big trouble. Because Antonio Gates is going to do nothing. He has Jack Doyle. God forbid Jack Doyle goes down. You know what points he's getting from his tight end? Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. That's what he's getting. Not smart. You've got to be smart. So I'm looking at my team here. Receivers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 running backs. That's what I usually do. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I did 7 receivers, 7 running backs, 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, 2 kickers, and 2 defenses. That's how I played it. I don't know if that's good enough to win. Maybe I need an 8th receiver. I don't know. But if I had to do it over again, I would do it the same way. I would. And I am playing in a bunch of starters leagues. So starter leagues, draft and go, best ball, certain players have more value than others, right? In a best ball format, certain receivers are worth more. So, for example, Deshaun Jackson. I like Deshaun Jackson in a best ball format. I don't think he's going to be great on a week-to-week basis. I truly don't. But in round 7, some team took him here. They have A.J. Green, Tyreek Hill, Terrell Pryor, Deshaun Jackson, John Brown. If he has a good week, boom, you get the points. If he has a bad week, get some guys later on. So this guy has Tyler Lockett, Will Fuller, and Curtis Samuel. He didn't know Fuller was going to be injured at the time, but he's got Tyler Lockett and Samuel. So Deshaun Jackson is a good player in a league like this because he can get you 3 or 4 good games. 3 or 4 good games get you 3 or 4 wins. And that's what you're looking for. You know, right? Every player should be able to be dynamic in an offense like this, on a team like this. Right? So guys who are consistent every week are good, but sexy players who can do a lot for you might even be better in this format. A big week, you probably win. A big week, you probably win. Not easy to do. So, what do I love most about draft and goes? I love the fact in the starter leagues and the draft and go leagues that I don't have to go to the waiver wire every Wednesday night. That's a labor of love. That is time consuming. That is not easy to do. Here, I draft my team and I'm done. Draft and go. go on with my life. I check it every week to see how my team is doing, but that's about it. My team's doing well, great. My team's doing poorly, my fault. I didn't spend that much money on it, but it was really good practice to see what it's like to be in a draft, to see what it's like, where's so-and-so going, right? Where is Eric Decker going? Oh, third pick of round 8. Okay, so when I do my next draft, I know. Or what I really like about these drafts, here's what I really like, and keep this between us. I love the last 5 or 6 rounds of these drafts. I do. Because guys pull out names that sometimes I haven't thought about. So here's a name that came up, that after it came up, I was like, yes, this guy was right. Paul Richardson was a 24th round pick by some guy in this league. That was brilliant. A brilliant pick. In last night's draft, Paul Richardson, I would think, went in round 13. So this guy, I was like, oh, I like that. I should have had that. My fault. My fault on that one. Right? So sometimes it gives me a list of names that I could just write down and see, and I hold it for the future. Chad Williams, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kenny Golladay, Paul Richardson, Braxton Miller, Michael Floyd, Laquan Treadwell. Very clever. Very clever. Now, as I'm looking through some of these teams, I can tell teams that are not going to win this league. Like the team that has Tom Brady and Ryan Tannehill is not winning. Here are his receivers: Cooks, Hopkins, Terrell Williams, Cobb, Britton, Funchess. He's got 6 receivers. I like his receivers. Don't get me wrong. I like him a lot. But let's just say Funchess is a 0, because he is. So now he's got 5 receivers to last him the entire season. Man, those guys better stay healthy, and they better be good. What I love about these leagues is they challenge us for depth. They challenge us to dig deep and figure out who the right players are, because I don't have a second crack at this. Donta Foreman, great pick in round 16 in this draft. Cooper Kupp, great pick in round 18. Paul Richardson, genius pick in round 24. Right? Good picks. I like picks like that because these guys may not do anything for me today, but they might do a whole lot for me later on in the season. And these drafts are not easy to do. But I also look at strategy. FFL Master here. Great draft I'm looking at. Julio Jones, Roto, T.Y. Hilton, Golden Tate. Dalvin Cook, Bilal Powell, Stephon Diggs, Paul Perkins, Theo Riddick. He's got 8 great players. Kyle Rudolph in 9, Jordan Matthews in 10, David Carr in 11, Fleener in 12. Then he's got Simeon and Alex Smith. Every team has an Achilles heel. What's this guy's Achilles heel? His backup quarterback. God forbid Derek Carr is injured. Simeon and Alex Smith might be 0s. You might see Pat Mahomes earlier, and what if Paxton Lynch wins the job? Then this guy is losing this league. But it was an aggressive pick. I like his team. I like what he did there. It was a very good beginning. Cook, Powell, Perkins, Riddick, Jones, Hilton, Tate, Diggs. Sign me up. Sign me up. Now here was what's interesting about this draft. Stephon Diggs went in round 6. That's a gift. I took Pierre Garçon over Stephon Diggs. If I had to do this draft over again, I think I would take Diggs. That's one of the other things I like about doing draft reviews. I look and see, did I do the right thing at the time? So I'll go through some of my first picks here. I took Jordy Nelson. Would I do that again? I probably would. I took Ajayi in round 2. I pick 11 here. Would I have taken him there? Yes, I would. I had Joe Mixon in round 3. I think could I have taken Dalvin Cook? Maybe. I took Martavis Bryant in round 4. Will I regret that instead of taking Terrell Pryor or Julian Edelman? I don't know. I took Crowder in round 5 and Garcon in round 6. Should I have taken Diggs instead of Garcon? We'll have to find out. I took Procise instead of Dougie Martin. Was that a mistake? What if Doug Martin comes back and turns out to be real deal? Is Procise as good as I think he is? What about Kareem Hunt, who I took? Should I have taken him there? Or would I have been better off with waiting and taking another receiver? Or maybe taking Kyle Rudolph, because I got stuck with Zach Ertz. Maybe Kyle Rudolph would have been better. You see what I'm saying? It allows me a chance to go back and look at the draft boards and see where I went right and see where I went wrong. Now, I always think I do it the right way. I always do. Yes, I'm super confident in my drafting. And I always look there and I feel good at the time. But you know what? I took Joe Williams in round 11. Maybe that wasn't a good pick. Maybe I should have taken a quarterback, because what happened was when I took Joe Williams, the team next to me had Jameis Winston already. He went and took Stafford and Manning. Boom. Why did I need Joe Williams? I could have had Eli or Stafford instead of Andy Dalton. Right? And then I look at it and go, all right, that was a mistake I made. I won't make that mistake again. Okay? And that's how we learn from this. That's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes. So I love draft and goes. And here's what we did today. Okay? If you go on to playffwc.com right now and you go to the draft lobby, you're going to see something you hadn't seen in a while. It says, beat Adam Ronis, beat Dr. Roto. I just entered myself into a bunch of drafts. I think it's like 4 starter leagues and 3 online championship leagues to give everybody a shot. You want to play Dr. Roto? Come on in. I did some online championship leagues and I did some starter leagues. Different price points for you guys to come in and play. The starter drafts are just, you know what they are for me? They're just getting me ready for Las Vegas. They're getting me ready for the Fantasy Football World Championships, the main event. I want to be at my peak in September. And the online championships, well, I just love those. I don't lose those. Those are great. Because people do different things every once in a while. Right? You know, they do strange things, and I love that. I love the strange things that people do in an online championship, because they're like, wow, he took 2 quarterbacks? I would never do that. But people don't do stuff like that in the main event. See, that's why it's strange. See, in the main event, when you're dropping $1,700 on the line, you don't get risky. In an online championship for $300, you'll take a risk. So I love that. I love the risk-taking that goes on. I do. I love it. I love drafting fantasy football. But it's only part of winning a league. Yes, you got to be a good drafter, but you got to be great during the season. You got to be great during the season. It's key. And how do you become great during the season? By joining scoutfantasy.com. Who are the waiver wire pickups? Who are the guys that we like? Who are the strategies? I go inside the box scores every week. Who's doing what? My job is to help you win your leagues. That's my job, as I see it. To dispense information so you are successful. Nothing I want more. If I can't win, I want you to win. And if we're not in the same league, I absolutely want you to win. So join scoutfantasy.com and be part of the Scout Army. All right, time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'm back tomorrow with a podcast review of the draft I did last night. It was crazy. It was a tough one. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great day, guys. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!